Hello loves, welcome back to TigeraGitana. My name is Abby and today we are going to be doing kind of a quick video on the Mexican Loteria cards in usage for divination. I got this request from Instagram. Somebody put it in the comments. So I was like, let me just give the people what they want. So we're going to be talking about these loves right here. So these cards come in the Mexican Loteria game, which is kind of like Mexican bingo. I don't think it's the same thing, but that's what people love to say. And you can use these cards in divination as well as oracle decks, and to just ask for additional messages, energies around a situation. And so somebody just asked me, like, how do you use these? Can you make a video about it? So I was like, sure, why not? So basically, the way that I read these specific cards, it's pretty similar to the way that I read my Flowers from the Dead oracle cards. And the reason why I say that is because the Flowers from the Dead oracle deck does not come with a book or a guidebook, anything with the meanings, definitions, that the creator of the deck kind of said, oh, this is what, you know, this card means. It didn't come with that. The only thing that it comes in, the difference between them, the only thing that it comes with is that with each card, it has two words in the bottom. It has the name of what the skull is, and then it has two words in the bottom, kind of highlighting a couple of the energies from that animal itself, and what it means. So, but that's not like the full-blown definition, because like if you're pulling a money reading and you get like, you know, hummingbird, and it says unique and distinctive, and you're asking for like, you know, money and stuff like that, and you're getting this card, you do have to use your intuition to get and receive the messages that this card is trying to tell you as far as the what you need to be doing in regards to your finances. So it is a little bit more of a kind of showing the energies around the situation using the energies of different animals and different things. So it is something that I feel like is very powerful to use, especially visualization, especially with those specific animals that come up on here. Also Santa Muerte comes up on here a lot as well. So you're getting like a lot of things like owl, for example, which is caution and wisdom, that are the two words that were picked for this. And if you look at an owl, an owl is literally, owls are one of my favorite animals because just of how cool they are. So when you're looking and thinking about what an owl does, what an owl is, and the messages that you get from its animal spirit, you can tap into what the overall message then becomes. And so it's just about diving deeper into the symbology of the cards, and using your intuition, and also paying attention to the question that you're asking. Because again, if you're asking a question and you get the walrus, which says enlightenment and faith, then maybe that is what you need to be doing, or maybe that is something that you are lacking that you need to address. And so it just brings up kind of like the energy around the situation, where it's not just like, hey, do XYZ, or this is what the oracle card means, this is exactly what it means, this is why I jumped out. It's not that. It's mainly more like you diving a little bit deeper, and thinking about connecting the pieces together and looking at the energy and what the actual cards are trying to show you and tell you about the situation. Now, when it comes to the Mexican Loteria, you don't get the two words at the bottom. You just get the number, and that you get the name of the card, which represents what the card is about, basically. So we have La Sirena here, which is a mermaid, and the number is 6. Then you have La Luna, which is the moon, and the number is 23. And so on and so forth. And so when you're doing a reading, especially if you use the Rider-Waite, I feel like you will be able to connect a lot of the symbology of the cards, even though they were made in two different places, two different cultures, two different everything. But if you look at the symbology of what the cards are showing, there are some cards that you can connect to what you already know to be, especially if you know that the moon card and the moon itself is a very intuitive force, and it is something that talks about emotions, talks about that deeper emotional study, that deep intuition, working with your third eye, such and such, stuff like that. Straight up, if I was getting a question, it specifically, like, I feel like if the Sirena comes out immediately, I'm just gonna think of Yamaya. Like, it's just, that's just what it is for me. But again, you might have a different experience with this card versus me. So the way I kind of connect with each card, again, depends on the question, but it also depends on the symbology in the cards themselves. So I feel like there's certain cards, especially like, for example, El Borracho, which is like, if you're asking a question and you're like trying to figure out why, you know, like, let's say you asked, hey, why is like my money flow stopped? Like, why am I having like a hard time dealing or manifesting money or manifesting wealth and stuff like that? And then your messages ends up being like the araña and el borracho, which is the drunk and the spider. Then maybe you're stuck in some negative habits that you have been doing yourself. Maybe the way you have been using your finances have been kind of putting you in a trap of lacking, because you're in a cycle of just like self-destruction and you're not actually able to kind of use your finances properly. So then you're kind of drying up in your finances. And that's the way I would read that. So really, depending on the question and which one jumps out, I'm like, oh, okay, like immediately my intuition goes, oh, okay, that's what that means. I completely understand what that means. La Calavera is in here, and also Santa Muerte is in here as well. I just thought that was so awesome and hilarious at the same time. Hold on, I'm trying to find her. We got La Muerte here. So obviously, if I'm asking a question about a specific thing, also there's another card in here that, hold on, that I was like, oh my God, this is so Oshun when I saw it. Like immediately when I pulled that one a while back, I was like, oh my God, this is so Oshun energy. Hold on, I'm really trying to find it. We gonna find it though. Hold on. Oh, I think it might be over here. Hold on. I feel like while I kind of, hold on, I'm really trying to find this one. I feel like for me, it's really important to look at the overall meanings of what is actually, like, for example, the Apache, which is a Native American, well, not a Native, well, yeah, Native American. Like that immediately, I would see that and I'd be like, okay, let me just go connect with my ancestors, specifically my Native American ancestors on that one. If I get La Mano in a reading, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, depending on what the question is, what does the hand mean? Especially when, you know, in life itself, we talk about, this is the one that I literally saw and I was like, oh my God, this is so Oshun, because she's just going down a river and she has the whole sunflowers and fruits and all of this abundance. This is like very Nine of Pentacles energy for me. And so I connected completely. The energy just went, oh, okay, that's what that represents to me. And so like the sun, you know, there's a sun card in tarot. And so the sun, what does it represent? For me, especially as an astrologer, it represents the ego. It represents happiness, delight. It represents that depth of, and again, it depends on the question asked, because even with tarot, how it has different kind of definitions, even when it's reversed, you have, and I don't read oracles reversed, by the way. I read tarot. I read tarot reversed for the most part, but I do not read oracles reversed because I don't really see the point of reading them reverse. especially because oracle decks usually have that, again, it's that meaning. They're trying to highlight that one thing that you need to be aware of, that one energy, where tarot, it's like it's more complex and it shows you where you might be stuck in. With oracle decks, I don't do that, so it's, you know, biased. So yeah, so I feel like when it comes to the different cards in here, even kind of connecting to the animal spirits connected to the cards, I feel like it's a powerful thing. And there's a lot of animals in here, even connecting to the nature spirits in here. Your heart chakra, your love, your romance, to different herbs, different plants. I feel like there's like even getting this, if I put something like this, if I pulled something like this in a reading, I feel like that would be like, okay, this is something that's really important that needs to be paid attention to. It can be disregarded. It's something that, it's almost like, it's like ringing, it's literally like ringing a bell to get your attention. It's just like a honk, kind of like, hey, if you don't pay attention, this is the energy that's around you. You need to pay attention. So I feel like, to me, I feel like when I picked up this, this deck, I was like, oh, this is, see, it has a devil in here as well. When I picked up this oracle deck, I was like, oh, this is actually really easy for me to read, especially because there's some cards in here, like, and Soldado, the soldier, that the soldier energy comes up not only in tarot, but it comes up in different oracle decks as well. There's different spirits and deities that represent that kind of soldier energy. Aries is that soldier energy as well. So it is kind of like, I already know how to read these. I don't really need a guidebook, and it's kind of the same from what I brought these up to the equation. Because even though they don't have those two words to be like walrus, I already am connecting it to something. Like, even if, like, for example, if I'm doing like my daily reading, like I usually pull, I do my higher self reading. You guys know I shared that spread with you guys a really long time ago. It's on my YouTube if you want to look for it. Like, if I get a freaking gorrito, I'm going to make sure I cover my crown chakra for the day. Just because I might be very sensitive to the energies, and depending on the cards that come out on the table, that's might be what I need to do. And so it's not, you know, like even with the scorpion here, like I'm already connecting it to like 8 different things, 8 different, and my intuition is just like, oh, this is what this card means. Like this would mean a lot of harmony for me, just because that's how I connect with the heart. So it really, again, it depends on how it is that you connect with the energies. Like if I was doing, like, for example, if I was doing a crown of success spell or like a money spell or something like that, and I pulled this, I'd be like, oh, cute, is Liddy out here. So it's really about understanding the messages, understanding the cards, understanding the symbolism, understanding the, like, even if I got this, I would just, you know, pull it back on hermit mode, depending again on what the question is. We got the star, which is something that comes out in tarot, so you guys know that's very Aquarian energy. This is very Pisces energy. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's not necessarily hard to read these. I just feel like some people might not understand it. I mean, it is, you know, this is definitely based in Mexican culture, of course, and there's obviously like a lot of respect there. And you see the world, we have a world card in tarot as well. So, and you see how there's like fruits and stuff like that. And I feel like it's not something that I personally find difficult to read. I can see why some people, especially if you know, this wasn't their culture and if they even had to translate the words and stuff like that, if they would find it difficult to read. But honestly, I think this specific deck might be one of the easiest oracle decks that I have for reading, even though some oracle decks literally have what they mean written at the bottom of the thing. But these are really, really easy for me to read. I just connect with them really well. I have a really good relationship with them. And yeah, I feel very, very grounded with this deck. I feel like it's a really, it's just a really easy deck for me to read. So I don't really have any issues with it. But if you do have, if you are trying to learn how to read this specific oracle deck, again, just connect with the symbolism, connect with what it actually is. And I know that if you are from a different culture and you're not good, if you don't understand what some of these, why this has to be, you know, a card, like if you're just like, I don't get why this, you know, then it might not be the deck for you. You might need to get a different one. If you just love the artistry, that's great. I mean, you can also play it as a game. That's the whole, you know, it is the Mexican Loteria game. So you can also play it as a game. But I completely 1000% see all the just witchy juju in here, and I respect it. I have a lot of love for it, and I feel like it's just a beautiful, beautiful deck. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with that. I hope this was helpful. I don't know if it was helpful or not, but that's pretty much how I go about reading this deck. But as far as definitions go, I would never like publish a kind of breakdown of what my definitions are, because I don't think that's the point of this oracle deck. And it's the same for this. Like, I'm not going to sit here and go for the flowers of the deck, other than oracle deck, and be like, oh, this is what it means. This is no, like that's not the point. Like you have to really connect to it. Oh my God. I kind of watched this video. I was trying to see if people have made videos on the Mexican Loteria cards. And there was this video of this white guy who was just like, he saw this card because he was showing the cards, and he was like, I'm sorry if you find this offensive. El negritos is not that's not an offensive term. Especially in like the Latinx community. Negrito is not an offensive term, because we literally call each other that all the time. It's just not an offensive term. This is not, you know, the way it's used in America, in the Northern America at least. So I thought that was so funny. I was like, why is he saying, I'm sorry if you're offended about this card? And it was just like, I literally closed it off after that. I was just like, you as a clown. You don't know what you're talking about. And I do feel like there are kind of like white people that have like picked up this deck and tried to kind of, you know, read it in whatever way that they want to read it, and try to interpret things that they might not know. Because growing up in the Dominican Republic, I can relate to a lot of the symbology in here. And then going to Mexico, I also see a lot of the symbology on here as well. And I feel like it's really not, I don't find it hard to read at all. I just don't. But if you don't understand the culture, then you're not going to understand how to read it. So yeah, I feel like you do have to have some sort of understanding of different ways of how other cultures see life, especially with this, because like even for like the bandera, for example, this is a very patriotic card, obviously, but this is the Mexican flag, it's not the American flag. So depending on what the reading is, it could be telling me something about what that ego is connected to, what it's passionate about, what it's like the ride or die about, like what is, you know, this is what I'm standing. This is why I haven't left this. This is why X, Y, and Z. So it tells me a lot, even though in every country you will find that patriotism energy, because everybody like wants to be proud of where they're from, you know? So it tells me a lot, but it's like the way that others might read it, it might just be different. I don't know. It might just be different. But let me know in the comments below how you read, like if you wanted to share that. I feel like this is one of like the deepest secrets out here, where it's just like people don't know how to read this deck, and I'm just like, it's really, really easy. Like even El Músico, for example, this came up for Bae when I did a reading for her, and I was not surprised because Bae is a DJ. So I was like, well, I don't see why that would be hard to read, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like it's a very beautiful deck. I love the artistry. I love just all of the kind of connection to it, and it's just like a fun deck for me to read. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. I hope that you guys found this video helpful. And yeah, let me know if you know how you kind of connect to this deck, if you actually use it, in the comments. Let me know below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified anytime I upload. Also, do not forget to check out the Patreon, because we're always learning and growing over there. I am going to be making the weekly voted video. That's the video that's coming up next. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.